Nadia walked back and forth in her messy apartment. There were bits of computer code, half-empty coffee cups, and clothes scattered all over the floor, reflecting the chaos in her mind. Looking at her clothes, Nadia got worried. "I can't wear just a t-shirt and comfy pants to a date," she said to herself, running her fingers through her hair. In her desperation, Nadia reached for her phone and dialed Amara's number, a close friend who had an impeccable sense of style. "Hey, Nadia. What's up?" "I'm in crisis mode, Amara. I have a Tinder date today, and I've got nothing to wear," Nadia confessed, the urgency in her voice evident. Amara chuckled on the other end, relieved that the crisis wasn't more serious. "Well, look at you, Nadia. A Tinder date, huh? Exciting and nerve-wracking," Nadia admitted. Amara laughed. "Come over to my place, and we'll sort this out together." "Thank you, Amara. You're a lifesaver." "I'll be there in no time," Nadia replied with gratitude. Little did she know that this Tinder date would change her life forever. You are watching the Tales of the Savanna. Subscribe and be part of the tribe. Now, let's get back to the story. Nadia walked through the busy streets in the fancy dress that Amara had insisted was a game-changer. She couldn't ignore the discomfort of the corset squeezing the breath out of her. The heels, though stylish, added an extra layer of challenge, causing her to wobble slightly with each step. Amara's words echoed in her mind, "You're snatched." But at that moment, she felt more like she was in a straitjacket than a fashionable outfit. She started to regret not taking an Uber. The sun was setting, and the short walk from Amara's house to the restaurant seemed like a good idea at first. The posters of missing young women caught her attention, a haunting reminder of the city's darker side. Each lamppost and tree seemed to bear the weight of multiple pleas for information, a stark contrast to the lovely streets that surrounded her. As she approached the restaurant, her palms grew sweatier with nerves about meeting David. They had shared laughs and stories over the past week, yet a shiver ran down her spine when she thought about the mystery surrounding him. The distant sounds of children playing in the background during their loving conversations had piqued her curiosity, but she hadn't asked further. Now, facing the reality of meeting him, she wondered what other things she didn't know. Inside the restaurant, Nadia scanned the faces, attempting to spot David. Unable to find him, she moved toward the bar, contemplating a shot to ease her nerves before their encounter. The restaurant where Nadia found herself was a cozy and dimly lit place. Warm, muted lights hung from the ceiling, creating a comfortable ambience. The walls were adorned with framed artwork, and soft instrumental music played in the background, adding to the relaxed atmosphere. Just as she was about to take her shot, a voice called her name, a questioning Nadia that sent a jolt through her. When she turned around, expecting to see David, her eyes met those of an older man, who bore no resemblance to the pictures she had seen. Stunned, she replied hesitantly, "Yes, do I know you?" A warm smile spread across the man's face as he confidently claimed, "I'm David, your date." Nadia's eyes widened in disbelief, and for a moment, time seemed to stand still. The disparity between expectation and reality hung in the air, leaving Nadia to grapple with the unexpected turn of events. As Nadia and David settled into their seats, a smile played on David's face. In his mid-50s, David exuded a gentlemanly aura that captivated Nadia's attention. However, her mind wandered, debating whether she should send Amara a code-red message. "I apologize," David said, seeing Nadia looking distracted. "I know the picture on my profile is a bit outdated. I hope that's okay." Nadia, nervous but willing to give it a chance, smiled and replied, "Sure, that's okay." The shot she had taken earlier seemed to have worked its magic, calming her nerves. As the night progressed, they enjoyed dinner together, and David revealed himself to be a fascinating and well-traveled individual. Laughter filled the air as Nadia found herself immersed in David's stories, feeling a growing connection. As the wine flowed, Nadia's phone buzzed continuously in her bag, and she discovered 10 missed calls from Amara. "Shit," she mumbled, excusing herself to call Amara back. In a rush, she explained, "I'm sorry, Amara. I got carried away. I should have called you earlier." "I'm glad you're okay," Amara replied, sounding relieved. "Thank you for checking on me. The date is going well, and I'll give you all the details as soon as I get back. Kisses." Nadia hung up, excitement in her voice. Returning to the table, Nadia noticed David looking slightly startled. He had topped up her wine, and it now had bubbles rising from the bottom like champagne. "Did you order champagne?" she inquired. "No," David replied with a wink. It's just the wine. I topped you up. They continued chatting, and before long, Nadia felt a bit sleepy. Glancing at the time, she realized she had to get back for a project deployment the next day. Fumbling for her card, David intervened. "No, please. I already paid the bill." Gentleman indeed, Nadia thought, appreciating the gesture. "This was fun. I hope to see you again," David said with a smile. Nadia smiled back and stood up, but the world around her seemed to spin, and she sat back down. Well, this is embarrassing, she thought, feeling a bit tipsy on a first date. Ever the gentleman, David rushed to her side. "Let me help you." As they walked outside, a valet pulled up in a Tesla. "There you go, sir," the valet said, handing David the keys. Nadia thought the Tesla was stunning. Usually, she would have said something nice about it, but today was different. The valet pointed at Nadia, who could barely stand. "Do you need help with her?" he asked. "My wife had a little too much to drink." "I can handle it," David told the kind young man with a smile. As David assisted Nadia into the passenger seat of the Tesla, her attempts to speak became slurred, and an unsettling lethargy overcame her. It was more than mere intoxication. It was as if her muscles had surrendered their ability to respond. Saliva dripped from her mouth, and her eyes struggled to stay open. Nadia, usually in control, found herself imprisoned within her own body. Nadia's mind raced, desperately trying to comprehend the situation. Panic set in as she realized she was unable to communicate or resist. The once charming David now revealed a darker side, shattering the illusion of a pleasant evening. The city streets passed by in a blurry haze as the car navigated through the night. The missing girl posters that adorned the lampposts and trees seemed to peer into the vehicle, their silent witness amplifying the tragedy unfolding within the sleek Tesla. The vibrant city, with its lively energy, became a backdrop to an unseen horror. "Nadia, Nadia," a voice called out as she started to drift. "Open it, I hope you like it." Amara's voice sounded excited. Nadia exclaimed, "A bracelet. I love it, thank you." It's not just a bracelet, it has geolocation capabilities. Whenever you're in trouble, just long press this button, and it'll send an SOS to 5 contacts along with your current location, Amara explained. "I don't think I'll need the geolocation, Amara, you worry too much." "But I love it so much, thank you," Nadia said, hugging her friend. Back in the car, Nadia's thoughts slowed down, weighed down by the heaviness in her body. Just before losing consciousness, she knew there was one thing she had to do for herself. Counting silently, 1, 2, 3, she swung her right hand to her left with all her strength, startling David and causing the car to sway a bit. "I hope that worked," she whispered to herself as she drifted away. As the Tesla sped through the city, the glow of streetlights and neon signs cast a shadow on Nadia's unconscious body. The night, which had started with hope and laughter, had transformed into a nightmare, leaving her vulnerable and at the mercy of a man whose true intentions remained veiled. The car merged into the flow of traffic, disappearing into the shadows of the city. The missing girl posters continued along the sides of the streets, whispering tales of caution and warning to those who passed by. The city, vibrant and lively, continued its rhythm, oblivious to the ominous events taking place within the confined space of the Tesla. Thank you for watching our story, The Tinder Date, and we hope you enjoyed it. What lessons did you draw from this story? Share your thoughts with us in the comments below. Don't forget to subscribe and be part of the tribe. Thank you for watching The Tales of the Savanna. We will see you next time, in the Savanna.